Regina, are you there? I was wondering if you wouldn't mind helping out with some grocery shopping tomorrow. I imagine that you're free tomorrow, right? So please come over at the usual time to help me. I'm going to be buying some food today, but I also need some toilet bowl cleaner as well as toilet paper.
Hello, Diane. I'm sorry to say this, but I can't go out and do your shopping anymore.
What are you talking about? You know that my legs aren't doing so well and that I can't go out and shop by myself anymore. If you don't do all my shopping for me at least once a week, then how am I supposed to get the things I need to live? Quit being so selfish and just do what I say.
Did you really just call me that? If that's really how you feel, I think that maybe you should go check yourself into a hospital.
How many times have I told you? Aside from my legs, I'm perfectly healthy and there's no need for me to go see anyone.
Hello, Diane. I'm sorry that I had to disappear in the middle of our conversation. I was getting the bandages around my head replaced and put my phone down to do it.
Bandages on your head? What happened? Did you get hurt or something recently? I can certainly see banging your head into something, since you're such a klutz.
I actually received this injury from you today, Diane. I told you that I wasn't really feeling well, but you forced me to go to your family reunion. I couldn't even participate in anything. You just made me cook all the food and serve it to everyone. Then, right when I thought it was done, you came up from behind and hit me in the head with a pot.
The only reason I hit you was because I caught you sitting and I needed to teach you a lesson. You needed to learn that you don't get to rest until every single one of your guests has gone home.
But I had already done so much for you, and all while feeling bad, and besides, they weren't even my guests. They were yours. All I wanted was to get off my feet for a little bit, but I wasn't even sitting 1 minute before you showed up. Then you started saying all these horrible things like just because I send money to you every month doesn't mean I can laze around, and that your daughter works so much harder than I do, and then you smacked me upside the head.
Oh, please, don't be such a baby. I barely even hit you that hard.
Are you kidding me? There was blood coming out of my head. I don't know why you always treat me like this. Ever since your husband died, I've been waiting on you hand and foot, even sending you money every month to help cover all your expenses. I feel like I do every little thing that you ask of me. I know that your daughter got married and moved away, so it's hard to count on them for much help, and I'm not expecting them to make the trip down for everything you need either. But I just don't get why you had to compare me to your daughter when I was the one there actually helping you. And on top of that, on top of all the help and support I gave you, getting hit in the head is all I get in return.
You must really think you're the center of the universe or something, don't you? You married my oldest son, so of course you are always going to be helping me with whatever I need. And you keep going on and on about the money you send, but it's only $2,500 a month.
And you're telling me that isn't enough for you?
I know damn well that my son works his butt off at his job, and then he makes more than enough for the both of you. And yet you insisted on keeping your job even though you knew it meant that you would be spending less time helping me. You sending me that money was a way to help make up for ignoring your responsibilities towards me, and it barely covers that.
I'm sorry, but I think that money is more than enough for you to live off of, Diane.
It's enough for me to get by on if I never want to do anything fancy for the rest of my life.
Look, I'm about to go to the hospital to get all of this looked at, and I just want you to know that I will be charging you for my medical bills.
Excuse me? Is that supposed to be some kind of joke or something? You really need to get off your high horse if you think that this is how you get to treat people for a measly $2,500 a month. I should have hit you harder in the head. Then maybe you would have finally come to your senses. You'll never make me pay for your hospital bills.
Okay, fine then. If that's really how you want to play it, then I'll just stop sending you money entirely.
Why don't you just go ahead and try it? Just remember that to me, that's all you're good for, and if you stop paying me, I will make my son leave you.
Hey, Regina, where are you right now? I just got home and no one else was there. I'm starting to get worried. All the lights were off and everything. Did something happen?
Oh, Ben, I'm really sorry. I've been so busy that I haven't been able to reach out to you all day. I'm actually just about to leave the hospital right now.
Wait, the hospital? What were you doing there? Did you get hurt?
Well, your mom hit me in the head with a cooking pot. And she hit me right in the lip of the pot, so I was bleeding from the wound a little bit and went to go get examined. Thankfully, the doctor said that it wasn't as bad as it could have been, and there's no brain damage or anything.
I'm sorry, back up. Did you say that your mom hit you in the head with a cooking pot? Why were you even with my mom in the first place? I thought you said that you weren't feeling well and that you weren't gonna go to my mom's family party thing. You even told me that she said he was fine if you didn't go.
I know I said that, but then she showed up to our place ringing the doorbell and wouldn't leave until I went with her. She was making such a racket, and I just wanted to get her away before any neighbors noticed.
What is the matter with her? Why would she do something like that? I'm so sorry this happened, Regina. I should have been more strict with my mom about this kind of thing. And I wasn't, and now you got hurt as a result of my not wanting to stand up to my mom.
Thank you so much, Ben. But please don't blame yourself for any of this. I'll let you know once I'm done here, okay?
Yes, please let me know, and tell me if there's anything I can do for you.
Hey Ben, I'm all done, and I think I've been cleared to go home. Would you mind coming to pick me up?
Of course, I'll be right there. And then I think that I'm going to have a long talk with my mom. There is no way I'm going to sit back and do nothing now that something like this has happened.
I really don't think you need to do that, Ben.
What do you mean? You don't want me to talk to my mom about this?
No, it's not that. I just really don't think that your mom is gonna listen to anything we try and say to her. Besides, there's something else.
Something else? What do you mean by that?
I mean that today, while I was at the hospital, I found out that I'm pregnant.
Wait, really? Are you serious?
Yeah, they did a full-body physical on me and finally used the sonogram and found out. That's why it took me so long to get checked out. But now I'm so grateful that at least I didn't fall on the floor after your mom hit me. Things could have turned out much, much worse, especially for this baby I have inside of me. But anyways, for the time being, I really just don't want to see your mom at all. I don't know if she's gonna try to hurt me again.
I understand that, but I don't think that we can just cut off my mom like it's nothing. If anything, trying to do so might just aggravate her more.
So you're still not quite ready to stop talking to your mom entirely then, even after this?
I know what you're probably thinking about me. Even I'm wondering if this wouldn't have happened if I did something like that sooner.
No, I understand it's asking a lot of you to stop talking to your mom. But I have another idea if you'd like to listen to it.
Hey, Regina, just what the heck is going on here, huh? I thought I told you to go out and do my shopping yesterday. Why isn't it done?
Good morning, Diane. I wasn't able to do your shopping yesterday because, as I told you, I was in the hospital. They kept me there late because they wanted to make sure I didn't have any permanent head damage.
I knew I didn't hit you hard enough. If I did, you wouldn't still be making excuses about why you don't want to help out your poor mother-in-law. But at this rate, I'm going to starve. Is that what you want?
Honestly, I don't think it would really bother me if you did.
Excuse me? What did you just say? How dare you say something like that to a poor old woman like me? You're nothing but a rotten, mean person.
Listen, Diane, I'm not trying to be rude here, but you do have a daughter of your own. In fact, she was there at your little family get-together yesterday. So much of your family was. And yet, I was the one who did all of the cooking and serving. Why didn't you ask anyone else for help?
Because they were all my guests and I was hosting them, of course.
I understand that, but everyone there was family, and I don't get why it would have been so bad to ask for help. Instead, you just put all the work on me and then went to socialize. In fact, not only did I have to cook and serve everyone, but your daughter even gave me her child to look after.
And just what's wrong with that, huh? Don't you realize how busy she is raising her kids all the time? The least you could have done for her was take her kids off her hands for a while and give her a break. I can't believe that all you ever do is complain. Do you enjoy being the way you are?
Regina, are you there? I just want to let you know that I went to the town hall and picked up those documents. It was a bit of a hassle, but I think we got all the paperwork we need. How are you feeling, by the way? You're not straining yourself at all, right? I'll take care of everything at home, so don't worry about that.
Hey there, Ben. Yes, I feel a lot better and more relaxed now. I think all I needed was a few hours to lie around in bed.
So you really don't think you have to go back to the hospital for anything?
I think it's for the best that I don't go. If your mom ever found out that I was there, I wouldn't have anywhere to run. Although I did lie to her about still being in the hospital.
That's probably a good idea. If she knew where you really were, she would probably come over and try to talk to you face to face.
Ben, I just want to check with you one last time. Are you sure about going along with my plan? You know that after this, you're probably never going to speak to your mom again.
I know, but if it's what I have to do to protect you and our child, then I'll do it. I wasn't able to protect you from my mom yesterday, but I won't make that same mistake again. By the way, you remember my dad, don't you?
Yeah, I remember that him and your mom split up and then your mom got remarried, right?
That's right, although it wasn't like they divorced because they disliked each other or anything. My mom actually cheated on my dad.
Wait, what? I had no idea about that.
I know, I should have said something earlier, but I was just so embarrassed about it. I'm sorry that I wasn't more upfront about any of that with you.
Ben, you don't have anything to apologize for. I never really ask about your mom anyways, and you don't need to tell me all your family's secrets anyways.
Thank you so much for understanding, Regina. But anyway, after the divorce, my mom fought really hard to keep custody of us, and that's why we didn't end up going with our dad. But I never got along with my mom's new husband, and only tolerated him because my mom liked him so much. But he was a really strict man who wasn't afraid to punish my sister and I harshly if we acted up. Finally, I just gave up and decided to just accept whatever came my way because it was easier than fighting.
You've been through so much, Ben. I just hope you don't blame yourself for any of it.
I'm not sure, but at least I know that with you, I really feel like I can be myself. And the reason I say all of this is so that you know why it's so difficult for me to leave my mom. You see, not longer before you and I got married, my mom's second husband died. I remember that she was just crushed at the funeral. I'd never seen her so distraught and finally despondent. I couldn't bear the thought of turning my back on her. Even when she asked us to start sending her money every month, I felt that it was okay since she worked so hard to raise us.
Well, you were putting in most of the money that we were sending to her.
But of course I would. I'm her son and she came to me to ask for it. But I can't forgive her this time after what she did for you. So I'm gonna do what it takes and protect you and our child from her from here on out. In fact, I think I knew that I would come to this decision the moment you said you were pregnant. I would do anything for you both. Thank you for showing me that, Regina.
Hey, Regina, how come you haven't sent me any money this month? I thought I told you that if you stopped paying me, that would be the end of your marriage to my son.
I'm afraid that threat isn't going to work on me, Diane. Ben and I are already divorced.
Wait, what? What do you mean by that?
Are you really so surprised about that? You said that if I stopped sending you money that you would force Ben and I to get a divorce. Well, I decided that I didn't feel like paying you anymore, so I saved you the trouble and divorced Ben myself.
You really are an idiot, you know. I must have done more damage to your head than I realized. But now that you've left Ben, you do realize that no one will ever want to marry you ever again, right? I mean, who would want a woman who couldn't even hold her first husband down? You're going to spend the rest of your life lonely and miserable. But I'll be kind and spare you that fate just this once. I'll let you marry my son again if you start sending me the money. Except this time, I want $3,000 every month. Now go ahead and thank me and tell me how grateful you are for this chance.
Diane, I think there's some kind of mistake here, because I've already gotten married.
Wait, what? You divorced my son and have already found someone else? Does that mean you were cheating on Ben this whole time?
Cheating? No, I would never do that. I'm not you, after all. I got remarried to Ben.
What's going on here? Is this some kind of stupid game you're trying to play? So then you two never really got divorced and nothing really changed at all?
No, you still don't get it. We got married, and this time Ben took my last name.
Okay, well now I know that you must be joking. Why would my son want to throw away his family name for yours?
Well, that would be because Ben never wants to speak with you ever again.
That's a lie too. My Ben would never say something like that. Benjamin, you have got some explaining to do, young man. What is this business I hear about you taking your wife's last name? Please tell me that you didn't really.
No, it's no mistake at all. You've already done all the paperwork, so it's official. I have Regina's last name now.
Oh, you little ingrate. Well, go and reverse it right now. Or do all the years I spent raising you just mean nothing?
I know that you worked hard to raise me, Mom, and I'm thankful for all that you've done. But at the end of the day, you were my mom and that was your job. I don't think I'm obligated to do anything back for you. Besides, you were the one who went and cheated with Dad and got remarried to that horrible man. Not only that, but you two quickly started treating my sister like she was your only child, and I felt like I had no place at home.
Are you really speaking ill of the dead right now? When did you get so disrespectful?
Mom, I know how upset you were when he died, and I really was trying to pity you after he was gone. But I've reached my limits, and now I have to do what I can to protect my family.
Your family? Did you get hit in the head too? I am your family, Ben. You can't just take your wife's name and pretend like we don't exist. Besides, you don't even have any kids. How can you choose your wife over the rest of your whole real family? What did she do to turn you against us?
Enough, Mom. I seriously have had it with you. Regina is pregnant with our child, and as her husband and the father, it's my job to be there for them. And it's clear that keeping you in their life would only be a danger to both Regina and our child. I'm making the choice to protect my family from you. I never wanted it to come to this, but I never want to see you ever again.
Wait, Ben, you can't do this to me. Regina, what did you do to my son? He's blocked my number and he says he never wants to see me again. You knock some sense into this man right this second.
Diane, you really need to face reality. If Ben says he never wants to talk to you again, then I'm not going to breach that wish.
Oh, just shut up, you brat. You turned him against me and you're going to try and talk down to me? How dare you do this to me? But you still haven't beaten me, you know. I still have another child who I can go to for money.
And you really think that your daughter is going to try to do that for you? You're welcome to try, but I don't think it's going to go the way you think.
And just why is that, huh?
Well, because I've already heard that you've been spending all your money on gigolos and hiring handsome men to go out with you. In fact, I've heard you sunk so much money into doing that you're quite a bit in debt now.
Wait a second, how did you hear about all of that?
Oh, don't you worry about that. But judging from your reaction, I take it that all of that is true. So, do you really think your daughter is going to help you out of this mess you made for yourself? I can't see it happening. After all, she already has 3 kids of her own. I seriously doubt she would be able to afford to send you the kind of money that you'd be hoping for. But Ben and I aren't giving you anything anymore either. You'll just have to learn how to make do with your savings and retirement money.
Wait, so then Ben knows about all of this too?
That's right. He knows about your bad habit and the debt it's gotten you in.
Well, if you both know how much money I owe, then you have to help me. I won't be able to live if you don't keep sending me money.
I'm afraid that you and I have nothing to do with each other anymore. You'll have to figure this out for yourself.
This isn't a game. This is my life that we're talking about here. How could you do this to me?
These are going to be the last messages you ever get from me, Diane. I've already reported what you did to me to the police, and you're going to be arrested for assault and fraud.
Fraud? Are you kidding me? That isn't fair. You're just accusing me of false crime now.
But you are guilty of fraud. This whole time you've led me to think that you could barely get yourself around, and that's why you needed so much help. But you had your knees replaced a couple years ago, and you've had no health problems since then. You've just been using me this entire time.
But my legs were bad once. Doesn't that count?
It doesn't. And especially not after how much of my own money you had me spending on you under this false pretense. Anyways, enjoy jail. After that, Diane was arrested and Ben agreed to never speak to her ever again. I suppose it's only natural that a woman who cheated on her husband would turn to paying men to shower her with attention. But I later heard from Ben that even his sister cut their mom off, and that Diane was truly left with no one she could turn to for help. I hear she had to take a couple of part-time jobs just to keep up with the interest payments on her debt. Meanwhile, Ben and I have been enjoying the quiet married life and are eagerly expecting the birth of our first child.